Fear of darkness?
No.
Fear of sex?
No.
Fear of snakes?
No.
Fear of drowning?
No.
Fear of spiders? Fear of spiders?
Right now, I'm afraid of everything, okay?
Rupture is in the horror subgenre of kidnap and torture that was popularized by the Saw series. But while Saw was creative with its approach and had characters that were actually interesting, Rupture is mostly boring, shallow, and fails to do enough with its setting to be much good. Renee, played by Noomi Rapace, was on her way to meet up with a friend to go skydiving when her car's tire goes flat and she is subsequently kidnapped by a pair of men pretending to be Good Samaritans.
There's a Mike's ice cream shop right there. Got the big cone outside. Go!
A secret organization has been watching Renee for some time, and they have determined that she is among a group of individuals who contain something that they need. In order to achieve that goal, they must inject Renee with various chemicals and subject her to experiments that are meant to horrify her until something from within ruptures. Renee must attempt to escape the facility and reunite with her son. I glossed over the story a fair bit, but there's really not a whole lot to it. Renee is a typical single mom with an ex-husband who's a jerk. But the way she badmouths her son's father isn't exactly very becoming of her as an individual either.
I'll take him to school Friday. I want to start the weekend sharp, so don't fucking drag us down with your nonsense, alright?
Was that Dad?
He's not always as nice to me as he is to you, baby.
The point is that she cares very much for her son Evan, which motivates her throughout the film. But that's all there is to the film's opening, and it takes about 10 minutes to deliver this message, so it's a pretty elongated introduction. After Renee is captured and is finally taken to the facility, about 20 minutes in, the movie finally begins proper. But it never gets a whole lot better. This is mainly because Renee is a pretty flat character. We know everything there is to know about her early on, and she's never given any challenges to subvert this. This would be fine if her oppressors were interesting. That way the audience can kind of instill themselves in Renee's position and the oppressors take the full focus of the film. But not only is that not the case, it turns out that the staff of this secret organization failed to capture the imagination as well. They all act the same, a little creepy and overly calm.
What do you want from me?
Try to breathe normally.
If you let me go, I fucking breathe normally.
This is just a blood pressure test.
Actors Carrie Beesh and Michael Chiklis are the best of the staff, but even they aren't enough to raise this movie's quality. Once Renee escapes and begins exploring the facility, she's able to catch a glimpse at the other torture devices used. But a lot of these just come off as silly. Unlike the Saw series, which has had some inventive, if absurd, setups throughout the franchise, Rupture just feels like a poor imitation that's trying too hard. Rupture does manage to pull off a few cool moments. The sound effect of a door locking and unlocking becomes a great motif throughout this film. There are also some cool camera angles pulled off occasionally, as well as this one unedited long take that looks pretty good. Of course, it's just a single subject going through a narrow environment, so it's not like there's a whole lot of actor blocking involved. This is no touch of evil. But I understand how tough this can be to pull off, so I definitely give them credit regardless. What upsets me most about Rupture is how it glorifies on being a mystery when all of its subtle clues are so incredibly obvious.
You'll feel it soon. I'm sure of it.
The pace of the movie is incredibly slow, which is obnoxious because the viewer will likely get the gist of the plot about 30 to 40 minutes in. But there's still another hour after that where hardly anything new actually happens. And it's insulting when the plot twist is finally revealed like it's supposed to be some shocking revelation. It's not terrible, I've seen way worse, but Rupture doesn't do enough to warrant a recommendation from me. It relies on its setting and plot, both of which are weak, and fails to have enough good characters to carry the rest of the film. There's no question that Noomi Rapace tries her hardest, jumping between emotions at a moment's notice, but her efforts to save this film were in vain. If you're a fan of the genre and you're looking for something a little different, then Rupture might be worthwhile, but even then, I would keep my expectations low.
Maybe he didn't know where we are.
Maybe he's dead.
We asked you to stay quiet.
I just wanted to talk to someone. No, not my eyes! Not my eyes!
Thank you for watching my review on Rupture. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe.